rendered almost speechless. Uncle George had hatched a cunning plan to bring her and her sister back together again after so long apart. 6 years ago, when Rachel had stunned everybody by dropping out of university and disappearing, Sophie had been worried sick. She had called, emailed, and texted her over and over again for days, but with no response. She had even started to believe that something awful might have happened and was on the point of contacting the police when, finally, she had received a 2-line message from Rachel. All it said was that she was alive and well and in Puerto Rico. No address and nothing else. Since then, Sophie had heard nothing more from her and had eventually given up trying. Uncle George wanted to change that, from beyond the grave. His cunning plan involved his Italian holiday home. He had been an extremely wealthy man, and apart from his amazing apartment overlooking New York's Central Park and his vast waterside property in the Hamptons, he had also bought himself an old Italian castle on a hilltop overlooking the Mediterranean. His American properties and business interests had gone to other beneficiaries over there, but the Italian castle was to be for the sisters. It was apparently worth a lot of money, and according to the terms of his will, it would become the property of Sophie and Rachel to do with as they wished. But, and this was a big but, only after they had both lived there under the same roof continuously for 3 full months, starting this summer. If either of them refused or gave up partway through, all bets would be off, and it would revert to his American heirs. A bit Machiavellian. Sophie shot a glance across at Chris and shook her head ruefully. It's diabolical. Don't say that, Soph. I'm sure he felt he was doing it for the right reasons. Obviously, he was hoping you and Rachel won't be able to live together for a long period of time without patching things up between you. I hope you're right, but I'm not holding my breath. Rachel turned her back on Mum and me 6 years ago and then cut off all contact. She couldn't even be bothered to come to Mum's funeral, and as far as I'm concerned, that was the last straw. But you got on well with her before? Yes, of course. She's my sister, after all. We sometimes quarrelled, but that's normal for siblings, isn't it? The thing is, though, we're very different people. She's always been far more interested in having a good time. She's prettier than me, and the boys all loved her. They probably still do. I've met Rachel, and she's definitely a pretty girl. But you're gorgeous, and you should remember that. Sophie looked up at him gratefully. I don't know what I'd do without you to boost my confidence. Well, it's true. I think you're every bit as attractive as your sister. Chris had always been so very encouraging, and she knew she owed him a lot. They had known each other since the first year of university, when he had started going out with her flatmate, Claire. In fact, if Claire hadn't already nabbed him, Sophie might well have done, and she had remained very close friends with both of them, even after he and Claire split up. Having him as a shoulder to cry on over the past year had been invaluable. She reached over and gave his hand a squeeze. Thanks, Chris, for everything. Any time, Sophie. You know that. He caught hold of her fingers and squeezed them in return before releasing them. Anyway, physical appearance aside, the thing is, you've always been the brainy one. Maybe she resented that. I'm no brainier than her. I just work harder. Boring as it sounds, that's the way I'm made. And that's why she went off, to have a good time. I expect so, but I honestly don't know. At one point, it wouldn't have surprised me to find out she'd been abducted by aliens. So you aren't looking forward to seeing her again? Sophie considered the question. Half of me is. Like I say, she's my...